Hello again, everyone. Weary Bard here. The last video that we did, the second video in the series of the introduction to Project 1999 and my TNT series, I was supposed to run across the world, and I feel like I cheated you folks because I got lost here in High Old Pass, and I wanted to get you through that and not feel cheated. I know we talked about all of the classes and some of the class race combinations, and our next series of videos is going to get into creating those classes, but I told you I was going to run across the world and give you an idea how vast the world is. So here it is. I'm going to make my way back through High Old Pass here so that you guys can indeed see just how vast I was talking about. So we're in the other end of High Old Pass here now. Then you can see the orcs are at this end. There's some folks that were battling them there. And we're going to make our way out into a zone called Kithakor Forest. And that's where this hallway is going to lead us here. So we're zoning into Kithakor Forest. Kith Forest is a very, very unique kind of zone. And it was, of course, for the initial content, it was actually really kind of cool because during the day, it has low-level mobs in it. I would say probably, level 1 to maybe 30, depending on what area of it you go into. But at, I think, 8 p.m. game time in the game or about 9 p.m., somewhere around there, Kithakor Forest takes a complete 180. And all those mobs despawn, and new mobs spawn, and those new ones are very high level, like in the 50s, and they're all undead. So it's a very, very dangerous zone come nighttime. So I'm going to do a \time. It is 2 p.m., so we're pretty safe. But we're going to run through this here, and I am in Viz. We're going to hope that there are no undead mobs up, because they'll be able to see right through this invis, because it's not invis to the undead. But just to be safer, we're going to hug the left wall. And if you hug the left wall, even during the night, if you go way up on the wall, you're safe. I would say 98% safe. There still could be some mobs late at night just wandering around that probably could aggro you. If you're low enough level, they'll still see you. So, but hugging the left wall is a pretty safe bet. That's how most people travel through Kith Forest. On our way, maybe we'll stop at Rivervale. Oops, I got some falling damage there. Maybe we'll stop here at Rivervale. But I wanted to get you through here because it's 2 p.m. and game time kind of runs kind of fast, and I wanted to get there before all those nasty mobs come out here. So that is the entrance to Rivervale. That is the land of the Halflings. That's where they start. So it's kind of a cool city. I don't think we're going to go in there, actually, second thought, because I have a long ways to run yet, and I want to get you to the other side, and maybe we'll take a boat ride just to give you an idea what the boat ride from Freeport over to the other land is like, because it's kind of neat. It's kind of long. Some people really hate it. I really like it because, I kind of like being out to sea. It's kind of mindless, but it's kind of soothing in the same sense, and I don't know, just part of that game immersion. Like, you just can't teleport 1,000 miles away instantly. You have to take a boat if you're not a druid, and and I am a druid, but I like doing that. I like traveling. Traveling was a huge part of this game for me. A quick little story: when I very first started this game, I had my dark elf mage, and I met somebody who said, "Hey, you want to go on an adventure?" And I was probably like level 8. So I was over in the Dark Elf area, and you're going to get a sense of how far away that is when we get to that area. I'll mark it and let you know, and you can contrast it to how far we ran. He said, we're going to go to Blackburrow, which is a dungeon over by Kinos, which is that city where we started these intro videos here. So just give you an idea how far away it was. I said, okay, because I had no idea. I didn't even know how vast the game was. It took me probably a month of playing the game before I realized there was another zone outside the one that I started in. So just to give you an idea of how little I knew at that point. So I figured it was going to be a quick run. So he ran us, he invised us to get us through High Old Pass, and he ran us all the way over to Kinos Hills, and to Blackburrow. So we get there, and I'm all excited. We're in Blackburrow. I'm still bound way back in Nariak, and I had no idea about that. So if I were to die, it would have been a very, very long run, corpse run back, naked. to get my body. But you know, I was there, and I was ready. It was sounded exciting. Black Barrel was a really cool little dungeon to group in, and so I thought we were going to have some fun. And he decided, hey, I've got a log, and he ditched me. And there was a couple other guys there that were ditched too. They all logged too because they were kind of upset and fed up. So what I had to do is find my way back, because I didn't know about porting. I didn't know about, you know, people being able to teleport me back to a certain area. So this game had no maps back then, so you couldn't just pull up a map like World of Warcraft and figure out where you're going and follow that map. There were maps online, and I think it was EQ Maps or EverQuest Maps or something like that was online. Somebody went through each zone and actually drew out kind of a very crude version of the map of each zone. So I had to find the zones. They had the whole world kind of put together, and it was just a block map. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't even geographical. It was just a block map of, you know, squares for the zones. So I had to put those together, and I printed them all out, and I kind of put them all up on the wall behind my screen so I could figure out where I'm going. And using those crude block maps on paper on my wall, I found my way back at level 8 and ran all the way back from Kinos area back to the Freeport area. And, you know, it took me the better part of a day to do that, because it's a long run to begin with. But, you know, I was level 8 and had no idea where I was or where I was going. So it was kind of, you know, I was proud of myself. But I'll tell you what, I would not trade that experience for anything, because it was scary. I was very scared. I didn't even know what to do. But it was adventurous, and that's the thing I like about these games. You know, I don't play these games to get the best gear I can possibly do as fast as I can possibly get it. That's not my thing. I play these games to kind of immerse myself in a different world, get rid of the stressors in the real world, and, you know, have some fun and adventure in a land of a genre that I really like. So those kind of things are the adventure part for me. So I was very proud of myself, and it was a lot of fun. And when I got back, I probably had a drink and decided, wow, that was really, really cool. So this here, as you can see, we've zoned into, we made it through the core forest safely. And this is a zone called the West Commons. There are two common lands. There's west and east. This is the west one. As you can see here, there's a lot of people here. That's because this is a druid portal. And this is probably the most popular and busiest druid portal in the game, because it's next to East Common. And East Commons is where everybody goes into the tunnel to sell their wares. And I'll show you that here in a bit. But if you're coming here, this is the closest portal to it. So that's why it's very, very busy. And a lot of druids hang out here and pick up their quote taxi fares unquote, and take them around the world, and then they come back here and hang out for more. So it's very busy, very cool. Outside of that, I mean, most of these folks are higher level, so they're just going other places. But outside of that, I think this zone is right around the 15 to 16 level-ish to start, maybe 12 to 16, and then folks start going over to the Oasis right around 16, 17. I've always had a hard time finding a group here. There are orc camps like that, or dervish camps, so they're like bandits. There's orc camps, and there's skeletons, and of course bears, lots of bears and spiders and stuff that you can fight here. Good for soloing because it's wide open and not a lot of other things to aggro. And the monsters out here they're not social, meaning if you're fighting one mob and another mob like it, if you're fighting a spider and another spider walks by, sees you fighting a spider, some mobs that are social, he'll jump on too, so he'll gang up on you. That doesn't happen with most mobs out here. Now the skeletons, not the decaying ones, but the skeleton proper, they're going to attack you no matter what. The level 3 skeleton, level 4 skeleton's going to attack you if you're level 50, if you just get close enough to them. They don't care, they're kind of crazy. But so here in about 30 or 40 feet, we're going to zone into East Commons, and that's where all the buying and selling happens. And you know, when the game first started, there were different places that people did that. Some people did it in North Row. Some people did it in West Commons at that portal that I showed you. But eventually, it all kind of, and all the servers kind of decided to do it at the East Commons Tunnel. And the reason for that, I guess it's pretty easy access. There's no mobs in the tunnel that are going to KOS you. It's safe for the evils to hang out there. And here, I have a window over here just for auctions, so you'll start seeing the auctions here. So if you use /auction, you can broadcast to the entire zone of what you're selling, and that's what people will use to do that. So this is East Common Lands, probably level 5 to 10-ish in that range. Lots of mobs out here, wandering mobs, lions and bears and spiders and scarabs and things like that. Of course, then there's a couple orc camps that are really good XP for groups to start learning how to be in a group, how to play your class in a group. So very good for that. There's a couple higher level mobs here. There's lesser mummies and some will-o-wisps that are a little bit higher, so air elementals, excuse me, that are higher levels, and some undead creatures like the lesser mummies and the skeletons and the ghouls. And there's a whole bunch of them that hang around right here, as you can see. Good for clerics to kind of single pull and kill because they have those spells against them. And so we're running across East Commons, and we're just about to the tunnel. I'm going to show you that and kind of show you how many people are there at any given point, you know. And it's my time. It's 11:30 on a Saturday, so it's probably going to be pretty busy. And as you can see, that's why I'm lagging a little bit, because there's so many people here. I need to upgrade my graphics card. I got a new one, but I need an 8 prong power cable, so when that comes in I can install my new graphics card. I just put a 16 more meg of RAM in, so that's a little bit more. But here is the EC tunnel. Now this tunnel runs from here in East Commons, and if you follow it all the way around and around to the right, you'll zone into a zone called North Row, which is other good sewing spot for level probably 12 to 16, 17 as well. But this is where everybody hangs out to sell their wares and to buy wares, of course. And as you can see in my bottom right-hand chat window, this is all the auction. These are all the things that people are selling. And if they do it right, they can link it in here. And you can click on the link, say the Gator Scale leggings here. And it'll pull up a window and tell you exactly what those Gator Scale leggings are. They're a magic item. They go on your legs, of course. They're armor class 7. They have +4 wisdom and +15 hit points, and the weight and the size and what classes and races can use them. So very handy little tool. If they link it in there, you can see exactly what the item does for you, and then you can buy it from them. So one of the cool things about this game is usually everybody will post a price, but the price is not locked and solid for most people. They'll haggle with you. So if you see a price out there, I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10, it's a little bit higher than what they're expecting to get for it. So they expect you to haggle. Everybody does. It's bartering. So one thing to note, if you're in the EC tunnel, they call this, and you want to buy something and they say they're at T1, and they're talking about torch 1. And there's torches on the walls, and this is the first one. So that right there is torch 1. As you can see down here is torch 2, and there's torch 3. The deeper you go back in here, the less people are back there because people don't want to run. But torch 3 is right here, and actually there's nobody here. That's torch 4. You'll probably never buy anything from torch 4. But back at the end of the EC tunnel are some place. There's some NPCs back in here, and you can buy from 1 or 2 of them. I don't suggest it. I think he sells a couple things. He's a guard, but the shady swashbuckler here, he's just that. The name is exactly what he is. He is shady. He's going to not pay you much for what you want to sell. He's going to overcharge you for what he's selling. So unless you absolutely have to buy and sell from him, I don't recommend that. So if you were to go that way, though, that is where I was talking. It goes into North Row. Again, another kind of neat desert land type of zone. Very cool for levels 12 to 15, 16-ish, and then everybody starts going to the next level, or next zone over, called Oasis. And Oasis is really nice because you can start there at a level. Boy, I've seen level 10s in there, depending on the group, but a little dangerous at level 10. I would say probably level 13, 14, and you can go up to about level 20-ish in there. in groups. So again, so this is the EC tunnel, and this is where everybody sells their wares. You can also get buffs here. It's, there's always somebody here that can give you a Spirit of Wolf for clarity for your spells, or invis you or levitate you. That's these guys that are floating or levitated. So there's always something here, and a lot of the newbies will come up here to the edge of the tunnel and ask for buffs. So and when I'm doing nothing, I like to do that too, because druid buffs are really nice for the lobies. So it helps them out, helps them level a little bit easier and faster with less stress, less dying involved. So I want to get you over to this area. I'm going to show you this zone line over to Nectulos Forest, which is where the Dark Elves start. Just to give you an idea of where I started on that adventure that I told you about, where the guy ditched me. Just to give you an idea how far of a run it is. Because you saw the last two videos, how far we went, how vast of a world this is. And so yeah, it's kind of neat in that aspect. So if I can, that's okay. So it's over here. I'm gonna follow this road around. So over here, you can see. I wonder if we could see any of those. I got to get in the right angle to kind of show you the trees. You can kind of see like a dragon's face there, and some of the trees you can see a little face maybe in there, like right there you can see. So the devs hit a lot of things in this game. There's a lot of cool things in this game as far as what we call Easter eggs, things that you find. Like the guard's name, Regis. There's a guard, Philbin, and something like Regis Philbin. Things like that, I think, well, Kinos, actually, the city of Kinos, if you spell it backwards, it's Sony EQ, which is, Sony is the company that produced and bought Varant, who initially started making this game. Sony bought that from them. So if you put that together, it's Sony EQ for EverQuest. So things like that. Some people say, oh, it's just a coincidence, but something like that is, I think that's a little on the nose to be a coincidence. So I don't know. Anyways, that was the zone line to Nectulos Forest. So just to give you an idea, so the guy we started running here. We ran through the Commons land, Kithakor Forest, invised at level 8, which was scary in of itself. And then through Highhold Pass, did not get lost. He knew where he was going, and through all the Karanas and all the way over to Kinos Hills into Blackburrow. So as you can see in those last couple videos, how far that really was. So that was quite an adventure. But again, it was really kind of cool. So we're going to head over here into the Freeport area, and that is the other major city that I was telling you about that we're going to run to. It is on the opposite side of the world from Kinos. Different city. The humans can start here. I think the half-elves start here as well. And different faction, I think, involved in starting in Freeport than if you start in Kinos. Unless you go agnostic. I think if you pick agnostic for your deity selection, I think you can start in either Kinos or Freeport. But if you do a certain deity, it's going to dictate on whether you start in either city. So, and now we're in. This is like the straight up newbie zone. So these are very low level mobs, and designed for the low levels to start off with. Those folks that are starting in Freeport. And I'm going to run through Freeport. I know Freeport very well, just to give you an idea of how big a city is. And then we'll take you over to the boat. And depending on how much time we have left after we explore the city a little bit, maybe we'll take the boat over, because honestly, the boat is about a 20-minute to 30-minute real-time ride. And that's why so many people don't like it. Most people are in a hurry these days, but I'm not. So I enjoy it. I take it when I can. Sometimes I take it just for the nostalgia, because it's kind of neat, and it brings back a lot of memories. We took the boats back then, back when I was playing with some friends, and I had a friend who played a Dark Elf Shadow Knight, and while us Dark Elves that were not really totally evil as he was, because he was a Shadow Knight, we could just get on a boat. We can invis through the city here, get on the boat, and be fine. Well, there's some mobs, there's some things on the boat that could kill you, or when you get to the dock, he would pull aggro from when the boat docked, and they would kill him. So what he had to do is he had to swim in the water underneath the boat in the front of it. And as the boat moved, it would scoop him up, and he would be in the bottom of the boat for the entire ride. So when it docked, because it goes from Freeport over to Butcher Block, which is where the doors are. But on the way there, it stops at a couple islands and such. So there are people on those islands that would, when the boat docked, would aggro him if he was up on the top level. So he would have to do that just to save himself from getting killed. The first time he got killed in the water, way out in the middle of nowhere, and boy, I'll tell you what, that was very difficult to get his body back, because we had to find it, and we had to find somebody to help us get out there. It was quite an ordeal, but again, part of the adventure and the difficulty level of EverQuest. So we've just walked into the entry gate to Freeport. Again, the humans start here, half-elves start here. The Freeport Militia House, I think that is the Warrior Guild, and the the guard kind of hall. So we're going to go up this way. We're going to go up to North Freeport. We're going to zone into North Freeport. Somebody's killing the guards. So the evil guys, it's probably that Ixar right there. He's killing the guards. There's a sword on the ground. I wonder what it is. Let's find out what it is. I can't pick it up. Why can't I pick it up? Let's see. Huh. Maybe it's not on the ground. Anyways, let's see here. Oh well. It won't let me pick it up. But anyways, he's probably killing guards for the experience. Their guards are actually really a good experience. That's one of the benefits about being an evil race, though. I mean, if you're looking for something to kill, the good city guards are very good XP and very fast money. So, I mean, if you're not worried about the faction with them, obviously because you're already evil, they hate you in the first place, why not? It's a good XP, good leveling. So we just zoned into North Freeport. And there's a lot of shops and things in here, but we're going to the main thing that's in North Freeport here. And it might look confusing, but I know the way by heart because I've been running it for a decade, is the bank. I'm going to pick up some food and water here because, as you can see, my screen's been telling me that I've been out of drink for some time now. And I'm not sure what I have here. I've got plenty of food, just no drink. So this was all from foraging. That's one cool thing that the Wood Elves can do. Is forage. Druids can forage, and I don't know if the bards can or not, but it's a skill that allows you to pick up food. You're foraging for food, so it's kind of nice because then you don't ever have to buy it, and you can forage water too. And the other cool thing is there are some items out in the world that are used for epic quest, the epic weapon quests, that can only be foraged. So if you can forage, I mean, you can get those things and turn around and sell them. But if you can't forage, you end up having to buy them from somebody who can forage. So kind of a neat little skill to have. And I'm going to pop in here because I'm not sure if they have my milk in here or not. I always buy the milk because, again, it's cheaper than most other things. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't remember where the milk was, but anyways. So this is a little tavern where you can buy your milk, but I'll show you where the bank is. The bank is straight back right here. And I don't think we've gone to the bank yet. So what you can do, the bankers are here behind the counter. You right-click on them and they bring up your bank. And as you can see, you can store things in there that you want to carry with you. I have a lot of things that sell later on, extra things, and you can put money in here. Like if I wanted to put all my plat in here, you can keep it in the bank so it's safe. It's not on your body when you die, so you won't lose it that way. But it's always good to keep some on you. So I'll keep 30 or 40 plat on me just in case I need something from somebody and I can buy it. So things like that. And I'm gonna put one of these in here, so I have another bag. So that's banking, and it is only on one character though. So if I have something in my bank on Brandel, it's not like other games where it crosses over to other characters. So it's not in their bank. And the other unfortunate thing in this game is there's no mail system. So let's say you have a really cool item drop that would be great for your cleric, and you're on your warrior, or vice versa. You can't mail it to them. So like in other games. So you have to find somebody who is trustworthy, usually in your guild or somebody that you know for sure. And you have to give it to them. Then you have to log on your other character, and they give it back to that character. So that's the only way to do transfers. Back in the day, we would find a remote spot where we can drop items on the ground, we would bring both of our characters to a remote corner of the world, and the one character would drop the item on the floor. You log on your other character and it'd still be there, and you pick it up. Dangerous, of course, because if somebody sees you, then they can grab that while you're logging on the new character. But in Project 1999, they stopped the ability to drop coins, so you can't, transfer plat that way. So we usually end up just finding somebody to do it for us to help us out with that. So I think maybe he has the milk. Yes, he does. So you click on buy. It automatically gives a stack of 20, which I'm going to buy, but you can adjust that and buy 10 or buy a couple of things that you need. So, and I'm actually going to buy 2 stacks, so I quit running out of it because I seem to be drinking it awfully fast. I don't know why. But so yeah, that's the Freeport Bank. And a lot of merchants here. This is where I buy my food. Trade skills can be done here, and we're going to do a whole series on trade skills. That's an oven, so you can do your baking trade skill in the oven. And there's blacksmithing, and there's fletching, and a couple other different trade skills. But they're fun. Some people really hate doing them. I enjoy doing them. I really do. And the reason being is I just like creating things that can enhance somebody else's gaming experience. To me, that's very rewarding. So I like to craft. You're not going to make a million plat doing it. It's costly to do the skills, but if you're okay with that and you like doing that kind of thing, then it's a whole another way to play the game. You're not going to get experience like EverQuest 2 did. In EverQuest 2, you can actually be a crafter and level up in the game just doing crafting, which I thought was kind of neat. But that's not how this game is set up. But you can make a little bit of money here, and you can actually make somebody else's gaming experience pretty decent. So we're back into where we first came in, the Freeport gates. This is West Freeport. People are just leaving their stuff here. So we went to North Freeport, went to the bank. We're going to go over to East Freeport, and check out the boat, because I think the boats are kind of neat. So again, there's different places you can explore all these buildings. Some of them are empty, some of them have other things in them, but always kind of neat to explore. Back there is the arena. That's kind of a PvP area. So you can go in there and fight other player characters. I've actually never seen anybody in there, so I don't know if anybody really does it or not. Honestly, I've never seen anybody in there. Back there through that archway there, that is the Casters Guild. So the wizards, necromancers, enchanters, and mages all go in there to train their skills and buy their spells. So now we're going to zone into East Freeport. And East Freeport, many different things. There's merchants in there. There's the fishing and supplies, so you can buy fishing poles and fishing grubs and stuff like that. So that's one of the skills you can do in the game is fish, of course. And the things that you fish, if you get the right ingredients, you can cook so that you have food later too. And later on, the food that you make can have stats like plus stamina or plus strength or something like that. So it can be beneficial. And we're going to run around to, and you'll see a NPC called the Priest of Discord up here. The Priest of Discord is in every major city, and when you create a character, you are going to be created in front of him. And I'm not sure why they start you in front of him, but my recommendation is to be very careful of what you're doing and immediately back away from him. So, because if you accidentally target him, EQ Project 1999 starts your attack at a certain button. So you can hit that button by mistake and mistakenly attack the Priest of Discord, and he's going to kill you in one whack. That's why when you're standing here, you see corpses in front of them, because that's exactly what they've done. They've mistakenly attacked the Priest of Discord. He's like level 50 and very strong, and yeah, he can pretty much just blink at you and kill you at your level 1. So, but the Priest of Discord is there for a reason. When you start, in your inventory, you're going to have a book here, and it's called the Book of Discord or something like that. So if you take that book and you hand it to the Priest of Discord, and you give it to him, he's going to turn you into a PvP character, and your name's going to turn red to show everybody that you are PvP. So that's how the PvP server plays. They're player killers. They kill each other. So if you don't want to do that, don't turn that book into him. You can destroy the book. You can always get another book if you decide to do it later, and turn it into him and go PvP. But that's why he's there. That's why everybody starts in front of him. So you have that option to go PvP if you want to. But if you don't have any intentions on it, just destroy the book so it's not in your inventory, it's not taking up space. And you can always get one from him later. And don't attack him. So that way you can see the sign pointing to the port. That's the way to the boat. But I want to show you this area over here to another, that's the Freeport Inn, which is another place you can buy and sell things. And this is the gates to East Freeport. So again, if you're a newbie, you can come on this side. And the cool thing about this side is there's always less people, the same kind of mobs. You know, the fire beetles and the bats and the snakes and things for the low level characters to get started with. But there's always a lot less people taking what you need. So it's a nice little place to start. If you're starting in Freeport, come on over here to the East Freeport side. And if you were to run straight out and zone into the next zone, that's North Row. Remember I told you the other end of the tunnel zones into North Row as well too. So this is another way to get there through East Freeport. So we're going to go back over here to the boat. And you know, I am about probably 30 minutes into the game here, so I don't know if we should really take the boat, because that's going to be another half an hour. Maybe we'll do that at another time. Maybe we'll make a video out of you know, just travel and how to get to certain areas. Look at that, he had money on him and a short sword. You know what, I'll take it. I'll sell it. I'll take a couple bucks. If they're going to leave it on the ground for free reign, I'm going to take it, because I always need money. So in here, you can buy things from these guys, fishing and stuff like that, tackle. You're going to run out here and to the dock. And there's always a couple docks in the ports. That dock, I think, doesn't go anywhere, but this is the dock for the boat. And you can see somebody else here is waiting for the boat as well, too. He's a low level, so I'm going to cast a sow on him so he can run faster when he gets there. And then I'm going to trade him. I'm going to cast him on a little halfling too, because he's low level. And then they can run faster. But the boat will pull up alongside of the dock here, and then you just get on, and then it'll take off, and it zones too, just like it's like going through any other zone. The boat has to zone too. So you'll zone into the Ocean of Tears, and then it'll stop on 2 islands, one of those being Sister Island. You'll hear that in the game a lot. A lot of the evil folks will go over there and kill them, because they're like druids. They're wood elf druids or something. And then it eventually make its way over to Butcher Block, and that's where the dwarves are. That's kind of their homelands. That's where Caledon, their dwarven city, is. And so, yeah, the boat takes about 30 minutes, though, so I'm not going to take it. I think we're going to end the video here, but I wanted to finish that out. So if you put all those videos together and were to run all the way from Kinos to here, even with a Spirit of Wolf on you, you can see that it takes quite some time. So the world is big, the world is vast, but the world is full of adventure, and I'm going to be starting to bring it all to you. And I hope these are helpful. I hope they're giving you some inspiration on playing the game and taking on some of this adventure, because it's such a great game and there's so much to do. So we'll end it here. Look for some more videos coming out soon. We're going to start creating characters, creating the classes and race combos, and going into all those details as well too, so we can give you some ideas of how to best start those characters and play them. So once again, Weary Bard here. Thanks for tuning in our TNT Total Newbie Training video series, and look for new videos coming soon. If you like it, give us a compliment down in the bottom and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe so that you can see when the new videos come out. You'll know it'll notify you via email. And hope to see you soon. Take care of each other out there and play safe.